Kale again is super hardy. So this is one that, I mean, it lasts all winter long for us too. And let's see if I can pull up this one. So this Lacinato kale seed. So the dinosaur kale is gonna be our favorite. I mean, there's so many different fun varieties, but this is one that we love to grow because our son loves the dinosaur name to it. So that's why we started growing it. We're like, this is dinosaur kale, and he was like, yes.
That's what started us growing it, but it's kept around for more reasons. It's one of the hardiest kales that we have. Now, all of the kale is pretty hardy, which means it survives the cold really well. Kale just, I mean, kale always survives the winter. Even like the coldest winters we get, even if I don't water it or really take care of it at all over the winter, it seems to always be there in the spring ready to go. And this is one of the toughest of all the kales that we have. Yeah, it's awesome. Kale is one of those things too that does not taste great when you buy it from the store generally, because kale, the flavor of kale is really impacted by a lot of things, and one of them is temperature. And the point is, if you grow kale yourself, it's going to taste a lot better because you're harvesting it in the cold season. Now, if you harvest it in the summer, then yeah, it's going to be a little bitter. I don't recommend eating kale in the summer. We're switching to other greens in the summer. Like lettuce tends to be a little better about holding on to its flavor once it gets warmer. But kale and spinach are two of the things that we're growing like a lot of and harvesting a lot of early in the season. Again, a ton of health benefits on kale. A lot of the same things you see with spinach, but it's another one of those things that we're growing a lot for the health benefits. There are more pests with kale than with lettuce and with spinach, primarily the cabbage worm. We need to add pictures onto. Oh, up here. So these little green worms that you see. Can y'all see my mouse on the screen as I move it? So these little green worms right here, you're going to see them on the underside of your kale leaves, and you're going to see these white moths flying around. They're the ones laying the eggs for these moths. There's a couple ways you can handle it. Number one, Carrie, can you pull up that PVC picture again?
Yeah.
The first option is to build these PVC domes and cover your plants with those. And we have either plastic sheeting that we use on those, or we also use insect netting as well. You can switch out the covering on there based on the season. You have to switch to insect netting when it gets warmer because the plastic sheeting will fry the plants if you don't do that. So that's one method of keeping them away. You can also buy this stuff called right here, this Monterey worm caterpillar control that you spray on the plants. And long story short, it's an organic method. It's a naturally occurring bacteria that when the caterpillars eat it, it kills them. It has no effect on humans. It's strictly a caterpillar thing. You can go that route too. I always clean off anything that I harvest with that just because I'm paranoid. They say it's fine. I'm always going to clean off. I pretty much clean off everything really well anyway. But if I spray BT on it, I'm like really making sure I put extra emphasis on that. But for the most part, we're able to control it with the netting that I showed, and then kind of later in the season we'll end up with more. But I mean, at that point, we have so much growing that it's okay to let them have some of it. And we have a lot of chickens around the farm and stuff like that, and they help control a lot of our pests and things like that. And we do a lot of companion planting as well, which is something else that you can do to help with preventing these. So if you look at companions, you'll see some of these like dill and marjoram and garlic and oregano and rosemary and sage. All of these are on here as companions because the scent of them helps keep the moths from finding the kale plant. So that's one thing you can do to help with those.